Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. That's right, another edition of the film and TV news because, as you probably know, Universal, and more specifically, NBC Universal, acquire and the Jason Bourne and Treadstone rights for author Robert Longholm, mostly in the estate, following the massive bidding war. Now, if you didn't know this, if you don't know, Jason Bourne, who've been a franchise over at Universal Pictures and especially of NBC Universal, was a media company from Comcast. Now, and it's per also they mentioned that the cable channels were all splitting, so the simply splitting two companies between and NBC Universal and the cable network just belonged to Visant, formerly Spinco. So that's what I know to talk about. So anyway, Jason, if you don't know, Jason Bourne was a massive popular franchise, the spy movie franchise, behind like say James Bond or Mission Impossible. Now, if you know, Jason Bourne was been in films mostly films like first, second, third, and fifth, excluding the fourth one was played by a different actor, is Jeremy Renner, and was replayed by the Jimmy Kimmel Nemesis Matt Damon, and he was an action-packed spy franchise for all you younger audience. If you this it came back in 2002 when Bourne and Identity was came out, and from 2002 was directed by Doug Liman. It was a surprise hit and became the most second film. And the sequels for second and third were directed by Paul Greengrass. So this is pretty much a defined spy genre between Mission Impossible and this is 3 years before and the Casino Royale movie came out, and it's with Daniel Craig as James Bond. So this is the new defined what's described as a new era of spy franchise. So this is why it become the new James Bond, but it has its flaws, including the Bourne Legacy with Jenny Renner, because yeah, I think that's pretty much a disappointment. And even the Jenny Renner has a scheduled contract with doing movies like The Avengers. And especially Han, Hansen Gromit was directed by Tommy Walcott, the director of the later film like Violent Night and one movie I can't say on YouTube because it's pretty much disgusting thing where an animated movie would came out already, and an animated movie was released in the same year as another movie called Fixed on Netflix. Added money. Anyway, that's pretty much the fifth one was titled Jason Bourne, was a kind of a direct sequel of the Bourne Ultimatum, but it was pretty much the casting like we're pretty much on the cast like Elisa Swedish owns Elisa Vikander and Tommy Lee Jones, and of course the famous meme become known as the Jesus Christ is Jason Bourne become meme, and like that we become whenever Vine like use the memes like my name is Jeff or all that stuff, but yeah, Vine's dead because TikTok is now because TikTok has become the new era like this seriously. It's like TikTok becoming a new Vine now or something, doing the lip sync stuff, but I digress. But still, if according to a report from Deadline, it looks like Jason Bourne has thrown the last punch at the studio he called home for over 2 decades. Following an extensive auction, NBC Universal has acquired all rights, excluding publishing, to Robert Longholm's revered Jason Bourne and Treadstone book series. In particular, the company said Wednesday the deal was for putting the future of the Bourne franchise across the NBCU universe. Really, I know NBCU universe. I don't know. This is a take it. I mean, this is a look. This is not MCU. This is like this is taking it to a different kind of universe, but between like Park World or Wicked or Elimination Minions thing that I don't care. This is pretty much the this is the Space Jam Universal version. Anyway, anyway, paving way of the new installments and the continued legacy of the Lundus beloved character in the spy world he inhabits. Since it debuted in 2002, the iconic Bourne franchise has reshaped the spy genre with the grounding breaking films that set the new standards for the cinematic action. action, said Peter Kramer, president of Universal Pictures. We energized to continue expanding Bourne universe into the future with excited new stories for the global audience. Sources would tell Deadline that earlier this year, the Lindholm estate took the rights back out market that did have lapsed of the studio, but the plans on hold to hold the auction. And WME, with Mortgage Entertainment, was still for. Rampant point in the process of the sources said there was a seven opus in and rights, including two for streamers like Netflix or even Prime Video. Yeah, I mean, well, actually Universal, but I mean Amazon NGM. Sorry, I said wrong. And one of the major studio, I think Sony Pictures, Paramount, or Universal, or even 20th Century Studios under Disney, but not people will say about that, but in few in the portfolio ventures, after bringing the proposal back to Universal, the studio match it what in what insiders are described as a really large deal. We're thrilled that the Bourne franchise will remain at Universal, said Jingy Wiener. Get it that the name is whatever. Um, Whatever, chairman and CEO of Capitate Entertainment of the excluding of the Lundholm estate. We're looking forward to working with the Universal team to expand the Bourne franchise across Universal's relative platforms. Yeah, sorry about that. With a new agreement, longtime Universal collaborator and Stone producer Frank Marshall and not Kathleen Kennedy, he's still working in Lucasfilm. Seriously, yeah, I don't trust him. Kathleen Kennedy, because he run the Lucasfilm and he ruined Star Wars franchise. Seriously, hashtag fire Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, we continue to shepherd four coming installments of the film series as he was in the beginning. Along with the Capitals, Jeffrey Wiener and Ben Smith, Capital has managed the rights from the Linden State since 2001. Deadline broke the news that Ed Bergen, the director of All Quiet on the West Front and especially the recent Conclave film, will be coming to a new Bond film with Matt Damon petition return to reprise the roles. Insiders that now they say they have a script from Joe Brennan, but as for now, the film is not greenlit and remained in development. Universal has released the five Bourne films in the critical acclaim and commercial success of franchise, including four starring Damon, Bond Identity, directed by Doug Lineman, Paul Green as the Bond Supremacy, and Bond Ultimatum and Jason Bourne, as well as the Jenny Render starring spinoff, The Bourne Legacy, directed by Tony Gilroy, who also did another. He would later go on to make the Star Wars Andor franchise, led by, you guessed it, Kathleen freaking Kennedy. And Dave Filon, whatever the name is. The films have collected more gross than $1.64 billion at the global box office. The franchise also reached across the NBC Universal's and Enterprise with the Bourne-themed video games and merchandise, as well as the Universal Studios Orlando theme park attraction, the Bourne Stunk Lactor. What? Yes, the Bourne Stunk Lactor. I don't know what it is. The rights of the barrister deal were broke by the WNB, who represents Capitated, so many others who the legacy reps including Tom Clancy, Dan Brown, not the YouTuber. It was an author, Joel R. Martin, creator of the Game of Thrones, Brandon Sandston, and Sarah J. Maas. So this is an interesting news. I'm really excited that the Universal take control of the Jason Bourne franchise rights because they continue to expand the franchise. Even yeah, I mean it's like unlike Tom Cruise, Matt Damon is still playing as an action hero. Yeah, sure he's playing the different kind of roles, mostly indie drama films with BFF buddy Ben Affleck, but but if you know this, just like anyone, the Jason Bourne is pretty much the not Tom Cruise way. Like if Tom Cruise was to become the action star, yeah, you've seen the movies. Like I know the new recent Mr. Impossible movie didn't broke in the box office, box office because I think that in the wake of the Paramount Skydance merger was all on the way, they already completed as today. So it's pretty much the reason that Tom Cruise was had enough to do working with Paramount, who's had working with the Warner Brothers. Unfortunately, that Doug Lyman's Demon movie was gone on hold, but unfortunately, Warner Brothers dropped the distribution and finding distribution, including Universal with no takers. But we will see what happens. But as a Jason, but I think Matt Damon might be born to play Jason Bourne. It could be like the new Tom Cruise, like Ethan Hunt, if you will. If Matt Damon might continue playing Jason Bourne in any time in the new film, I would say this is going to be a new era. Like, I mean, James Bond gone could took control rights to. I mean, Amazon and GM Studios they took control rights of the James Bond franchise um, from the Broccoli family, and now under led by and that's produced by the two producers like Amy Pascal and David Heyman. But I heard that the another director is going to be directed by Denis Villeneuve, and the writer by Steve Knight. And but pretty much this is going to be a more rounded take of James Bond, like they would consider Royale 10, 20 years earlier. Um, yeah, or 21st earlier, whatever it is. It came out 2006, but still, I'm excited for what is gonna. But still, if you know that Universal will gain control in the Jason Bourne franchise, yes, I will continue Universe. So is this gonna be a new Mission Impossible or James Bond? Who knows? But we'll wait see what happens. But if Universal Pictures agreed to do control to this franchise, maybe you do a new movie. Or I heard that Egg, as I mentioned, Egg Edward's Big Beggar was were already attached to direct. So we will see what happens. So good luck for the new era of the Jason Bourne, and especially everyone the casting team, including Frank Marshall and everyone, especially Peter Wiener, whatever, and hope Matt Damon might return as Jason Bourne very soon. That pretty much it of this video. Thank you for watching, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.